No, Jesus, we're doing one of these during the daytime. Okay.
Did the sun not give it away for you, or
What? It's not the usual routine. The sun is usually gone by the time we do these. Never mind.
okay?
So we saw, what was it called? Ready Player
Indiana
One?
Jones and the N64.
Yeah, that was my joke.
Yeah, stealing it. 'Cause I was like, all right, that kind of works.
It's good, though. I like that joke, not the movie.
So we just saw Ready Player One. This movie has been getting some mixed reviews.
Oh, I wish I knew that.
I can see why.
Man, it was just like... I felt like the movie was confused about itself.
How so?
Just like, oh, we're gonna have all of these really obscure Atari clues so that anyone who grew up with an SNES afterwards would have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
But how is that confused about itself, though?
Oh, just that and the...
That's like a plot hole. It's not necessarily about it could be confused about itself.
Oh, I meant like it's a racing movie, it's a shooting movie, it's a war movie, it's a...
I mean, you can argue that's all video game genres.
I suppose, but like, it was a lot of like...
That doesn't really make it confused about itself so much as set pieces happen.
I basically felt like the movie was just up its own ass.
That I will completely agree with. Alright, so I mentioned in previous reviews like how I was not looking forward to seeing this because I just knew it was going to be filled with Spielbergisms that were going to annoy the shit out of me. And yeah, I was right. So let's go over the Spielbergisms that are in this movie. Overtly laid out moral lesson. Overtly over-the-top musical cues, often with whimsy. The one you just mentioned. Oh, yeah. Incredibly huge, inflated sense of self-importance.
Oh, my God. So self-important.
Characters that don't feel like actual people.
Yes.
And those are the 4 big ones I noticed in this one, but yeah, they were annoying. So, just to get my
and
general...
they still don't shoot the guy with the gun! Okay.
That's a topic. We're getting to that. But just general thoughts. I didn't like it. I can... Now, this one I'm going to be a little more lenient towards, because I can see why people would.
I liked parts of it.
Like,
and then they killed the Iron Giant. So I was
spoiler, dude.
I don't care. You can't go about ruining Hogarth's reunion with the Iron Giant again.
Well, Hogarth technically wasn't. Unless the main character did kind of look like Hogarth. Except blue.
And more annoying.
Yeah.
I at least like Hogarth.
Hogarth felt like an actual kid.
He was a kid that was troubled because he was too smart for his grade.
So, I mean, I'm gonna just go on a giant leap and say you didn't really care for this movie.
Wow, what gave it away?
Just getting the general opinion out there.
Were my clues more obvious and less, I don't know, convoluted?
I may need to go to a curator and go through your visual journal.
Jesus Christ. I thought that was supposed to be a joke about Ask Jeeves. Was that what that was?
I have no fucking clue.
It would have been better if they were just like, yeah, thanks, Jeeves, shut the fuck up.
So...
Also, to the little girl that was sitting next in our row, we're so sorry.
You're saying a lot of this shit without any context whatsoever.
It'll be great. It'll be great when we get to it.
All right.
It's so much better when it's vague.
So just general. Let me just go with let me go over things I did like about this movie before I go too hard into the scene, like the list of things.
Yeah,
I
can give you. If you're an anime fan at all, I'll tell you how to combine these movies. It's One Piece plus National Treasure, I guess. And I don't know, the second season of Sword Art Online.
Does National Treasure an anime now?
No.
That would be amazing.
Would it? Only if Nicolas Cage voiced himself in English, and then they got the guy who voices Nicolas Cage in Japanese to do that voice.
Yes. I'd be down for that.
Okay, I would be down, actually. Nicolas Cage, good or bad?
I mean, it's worth noting, I'm also, like, really tired now because I just got back from Vegas yesterday, so I'm a little burnt out from that, too. So going to this 2.5-hour movie, and I'm just having none of it.
Oh, my God.
Now, again, before I get too much into the nitty-gritty, again, things I liked. It's visually interesting. I'll give it that.
It felt like watching, like, a NVIDIA graphics demo from 2006. That's what it felt like to me.
I thought the CGI was better than that.
Fine, 2008.
Do you remember the graphics of 2008?
Yeah, I do. I have that graphics card.
That wasn't that bad.
I need a new graphics card.
But, like, I thought the visuals were interesting. I thought the action scenes were good. The sound design was pretty good.
I felt like it had some serious pacing issues.
I'm talking about things I liked first. Let's hold out the hate for 5 seconds.
I can't. It's not Pacific Rim bad.
I still think Pacific Rim is a good movie, but we're not going to get into that today.
We're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that. I did that last week. All right.
With whom?
Grant.
Oh, you saw the second one?
Yeah, we saw the second one.
Oh, well, I'll watch that review later. With this link.
Let's just go on the video playlist. Anyway, I thought the visual interesting. I thought the girl who played, what was her name?
H.
Age?
H.
No, not H.
Artemis?
Artemis. I thought she did good.
She was like the closest thing to a real person.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, okay, I liked her fine.
I mean, I felt bad for her. Definitely not Aunt May.
Again, you're just throwing out shit without any context. The Aunt who's only like in one scene.
Yeah, I felt bad for her.
I didn't, because she was only in one scene. And even then, didn't really give me much of anything to go with. But I'm trying to save off the hate. I thought the final action sequence was pretty good.
Okay.
With which I'll admit, there's one part I got genuinely giddy about, and I felt guilty about it the minute it happened, and I knew that second they teased, I was like, fuck, this is gonna trick me. And that's exactly what happens. Like, fuck, this is total fan service, but I'm having fun with it, and you know what I'm talking about.
Wait, which one?
The Mechagodzilla Gundam scene.
Oh, yeah, no, that was awesome.
And I was like, fuck, it's shameless fan service, but yeah.
You don't even like Gundam, and I can't believe you like that scene.
Because it had Mechagodzilla.
It was Mechagodzilla?
And I'm a huge Godzilla fan.
Oh, okay, that's the part. Okay, I was more rooting for the Gundam, but obviously the Iron Giant had to, whatever.
Yeah, so like, and I thought that whole battle sequence was like, okay, this felt like the one time all the pop culture references, all that shit, they're like, okay, fine, I can live with it here.
Man, they really made good use of that chaser license.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
She showed up a whole 4 times.
5.
Really? Okay. It's like Where's Waldo, but they're making it really, really easy.
I mean, they showed up more than the Battletoads did.
Oh yeah, like right at the end.
Or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which used the newer ones. Like, blasphemy.
Not even the correct ones.
Yeah, it's like, dude, even if you are the guy picking your avatar, that's the mutant ninja you pick.
It's like that one episode of Harmon Quest. Oh, we're making prequel references. That's the one we want to talk reference.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's all the stuff I liked about it. All right. So now the shit that I hated.
Okay, I will say I had a really guilty pleasure watching the little girl. Well, like listening to the little girl having to watch basically the scariest parts of The Shining.
Yeah. I thought some of the, like I said, that's where I thought some of the visuals interesting, because you could, like, the Shining sequence I thought at least was, again, well, not great, but it was still, like, visually interesting. But that's the problem, though. It's style over substance. Like, at the end of the day, this is just, it's Spielberg doing Spielberg, and it's not good Spielberg.
It also felt like a cynic's, like, viewpoint of what
nerd culture is like.
Of what, like, gaming and nerd culture is.
And let's talk about the big issue this movie has. The dialogue is atrocious.
Oh, my God.
That's really what it comes down to. If it is not a half-decent script, this movie could have been perfectly fine.
If the people, like... I don't know. Basically, it was every time the main character like made a speech, I was just like, there's the one actual troll in the Oasis that was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up! I want to be Harley Quinn. I'm also a dude in real life named Chuck.
But no, like 90% of the problems in the movie are entirely with the dialogue, because the dialogue, again, it feels like it's written by someone who, like, this is what we think geeks talk like, and every time they start throwing out like lingo and shit, it was just painful. It was really painful. Like they're talking about like how the main story for this movie, if you haven't seen the trailer for whatever reason, apparently you haven't even seen it.
I haven't seen it, yeah. I saw posters, and
it's about like 20 years in the future, basically. World is shit. People go to the game called The Oasis, made by that guy from Dunkirk.
So that's the SAO part. Keep going.
Called The Oasis, who made this basically a virtual world like Second Life, except much better graphics.
It's basically what would happen if Sony's VR just, I don't know, cost another $1,000.
Alright. And you get all the bells and whistles for that. So basically, it's a virtual world you can get to escape in for a little while. It's like, okay, cool, whatever. Meanwhile, what's this guy's name? I want to say Billie Holiday, but I know that's not right.
What?
The guy who created the game, whatever it is, the one they all worship as a god, apparently.
I think it was Hallow Day.
Something like that.
His
guy from Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Guy from Dunkirk, after he died, said, I hit these 3 keys inside the Oasis to lead to an Easter egg. First one gets the Easter egg, gets my company.
That's the One Piece part! Or the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory part.
Not really Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
It's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
No, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is about how Willy Wonka will systematically kill each child until one remains.
Okay. Also that.
There wasn't 3 keys he needed to find. He was just the last one standing.
No, first, Willy Wonka is a lesson about how first impressions are important.
You're not wrong.
All of those kids are dead the moment he met them. All of them.
Target 1, Target 2, Target 3. All right.
Let's see. What were the 7 sins again? Fat kid.
Gluttony. Lust.
No, I mean, like, if I was Willy Wonka, I'd be like, let's see, your gluttony, your wrath, your pride, your greed.
And anywho, so,
something about squirrels.
Everyone's trying to find out where all these keys are, where they're super hidden, except for one guy whose name is, Wade Watts or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Who lives in like the slums of Detroit.
They were in Columbus, Ohio.
I don't know where I got Detroit.
No, because they mentioned Detroit. But he's even got a nerd blackface name because his dad wanted his name to sound like something out of
like a super, which I'm sure is in the book. Although from what I've read, apparently this movie is nothing like the book. Which actually, from what I've heard, might not have been a bad thing, because apparently the book was worse.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
They were making Atari references. Anyway, I don't know.
Well, the other ones had all the references were in the 80s.
Yeah, this felt like an 80s movie.
Yeah, which again, that's Spielberg.
I like Duran. What fucking kid in 2017 knows who Duran are? Kid.
I was a kid who knew Duran.
And I'm talking about right now, some kid on high school spring break is like, oh yeah, I know who Duran is.
But you've still heard that song.
Wait, which one?
The one that played in the movie.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so there you go.
But I'm still saying, it's like, oh yeah, I know the song, but I don't know who plays it, because I don't know, what are you?
I'm not gonna just be cycled towards millennials.
I thought we were millennials.
I don't know what we are anymore.
I don't know. I can't even pronounce the damn word.
Or Gen Z, whatever the newer one is.
I think they're
nowadays.
Gen Z.
Whatever. I couldn't care any less about that.
I'm just pointing out that a child in 2045 probably doesn't know who Duran is.
They still know what Overwatch is, so I'm guessing nothing's off base on this point, or what Battletoads are, or any of those. So it's kind of one of those
things. They probably did a Battletoads movie.
So probably. So at that point, you know what? Nothing's off the table. Whatever. That's something I'm gonna be nitpicky about, because there's
Spawn was in there. That's obscure.
But something about one person and all that has to know who Spawn is.
All right, whatever.
Because he's still around. That fucker hasn't gone anywhere. They're
Really?
still making comics about him. Yeah.
Okay, I can believe comics, but I was just like, really? Spawn?
Why wouldn't you make an Avatar Spawn? Spawn is awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. My point is that, is he enough of a pop culture reference?
Yes.
He was probably a cheap pop culture reference to license. I'm just saying. Not like Tracer and Chun-Li. They got some good uses out of those two.
Yeah.
And Ryu, who can drive.
Again, being ultra nitpicky. I mean, one thing I do believe about this world is that people that can create any avatar they want would immediately rip off licensed property.
That's true. Maybe they have like Google in the Oasis.
I assume so. There's gotta be some like museum in the Oasis. You were really thinking way too hard about this.
I was interested in the world until they just were super dumb about it.
Okay, I mean, I'm not saying I disagree, but how so?
There's not, never mind. Just the whole game itself. I'm like, so there's not like one subreddit about this.
And who knows what's up? So they never actually show the internet in this movie, so I have no clue if it's actually still a thing. Like, they make references like, oh, I've seen all her walkthroughs and Twitch streams. Like, that's definitely her when they ever see they find Artemis, who's like, wait, how does Twitch work in this world? I have a lot of questions. That was the one that bugged me.
Right?
That was
Yeah,
the one
they do make references to real world web applications, and it's just like, wait, how would that work? They're just in game all day shooting each other.
Wouldn't that technically be the Twitch stream? Is what is playing with other people in the game?
Wait, so that means there's an even poorer community of people in this world who can't even afford the VR headgear. Probably the cops, because they actually have to do their job in the real world. and they gotta watch Twitch streams under cop patrols.
And while we're being nitpicky,
because we can be here all night.
while we're doing that, since you got your whole thing with the fictional character thing, I'm gonna go on one that bugged me right off the bat.
Go for it.
Why are you on your VR while you're at work?
Right? The one like
Japanese guy who's just on his VR.
Who just clearly is supposed to be Japanese because he's gonna like jump off of the building because he lost all of his coins.
But apparently he's at work. They're all at work, and he's the only one on the VR headset. So it's like, is this fucker just not doing his job? Or like people who are at like the grocery store and doing this are on the street?
Like, I already complained about people who cross the street with their fucking phone.
I guess people are just not allowed to drive except you have vans, so that's not true either.
No, because even Pizza Hut's delivered by drones.
Thank God Pizza Hut survived, apparently. The great economy downfall.
It's okay, because according to Futurama, wow, I can't talk today. Futurama, in another 5 years in their universe, Visa will go bankrupt.
Peace. Oh yeah, debt beginnings for everybody.
Then MasterCard. Oh no, it would be MasterCard, then Visa, and then Discover will still survive somehow.
Anyway, so that concludes our nitpicky part of this review, which I acknowledge. Like, if that didn't bother you, I get it. Like, whatever. Like, that's not something I want you to take all that seriously, because I will admit it is nitpicky. There are much larger problems at bay than that. And that problem comes to the fact that White Watch is just a dull character.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only one I even kind of liked was Artemis, and that's because it's played by good actors, not because of the dialogue they give her.
Oh, God, no, not even.
Like, she's a legitimately good actress, and she's the only one I felt anything for, because, like, the only time I felt like she actually talked like a person was, like, the scene right after the dance scene.
When he's just like, I love you, anonymous internet girl. There is nothing wrong about this proclamation of anonymous internet love.
Oh god! And then there were some groaner fucking lines, like the one that killed me. And I actually wrote a good I actually saw.
We're still nitpicking.
No. This isn't nitpicking, because this highlights an overall problem with the movie, is its use of lingo and how painful it is. Like when Watson and Artemis first meet, they start grilling each other about like the god of the game, basically.
Yeah.
And they act like this is genuine conversation building. Meanwhile, he has his buddy named H, and we're introduced to him/her because it's a male avatar and a woman playing her, which fine, whatever. I've done that too.
Normal stuff. Normal stuff.
Yeah, I've played femship. Femship is better than regular ship, honestly.
Oh my god! I what the fuck? What is it? Jennifer Hale?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's great.
Her acting is way better than the guy that got male ship.
Yeah. Male Shep doesn't voice act very well.
I mean, not as much as he should. But anyway, I digress.
Considering how many games they got him for, yeah, they probably should have made him act a little better.
It still wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good.
Anyway,
it got better as the games got on. To each their own. Anyway,
I only played male chefs so I could be with my true alien waifu Tally.
I did both.
I mean, I did both.
Speaking of which, why wasn't Shepard in this game?
Yeah, what the hell? What's with all the Master Chief knockoffs? Still picking him.
I would have loved to see an army of Krogans fight next to the Master Chiefs.
Anyway.
Why wasn't that bit of fan service in there? I guess that's the one where BioWare said no.
Even BioWare was like, no, we ain't touching this with a 30-yard stick.
Anywho, so, meanwhile, there's this evil, bad corporation that also wants the keys, who have sent their own army in there to get it. And this is where, like, and so the whole movie's about them trying to find these keys and...
Like National Treasure!
Yeah, National Treasure didn't have 3 keys.
Yeah, it did.
Unless you, maybe if you count, like, the Declaration of Independence as the first key?
Yeah, it literally was the first key.
But he had the last key in his hand the whole time.
I'm gonna fucking stop.
I like that. National Treasure is guilty. It's a guilty pleasure movie.
As long as we don't talk about 2.
I didn't hate 2. Then again, I haven't watched it in a long fucking time.
It doesn't age well.
Alright.
It's just like, why are they doing this again? They're rich.
Because they're bored. Clearly.
Just...
So yeah, the whole it's basically a treasure hunt movie with a lot of video game references. Oh, and I forgot to mention the line I hate. That one that made like go like this really hard was a line where Watts meets the big bad villain, which is the same villain from Rogue One, basically playing the same character, who decides to meet him. He's trying to get him to make a deal, but he's doing it by listing off, like, yeah, we make schools like The Breakfast Club and, like, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and you know what? When I like to like, sit down and put whatever music was on there. He's basically, like, if he's a child, therefore, if I only make pop culture references, I'll get him to my side.
Just like this movie!
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the same fucking problem I have with Justice League. It's like, just because Green Lantern made a cameo in the movie does not make it a good movie! But anyway, that's a whole other topic, and I don't want to get the DC fanboys on my ass again.
Batman and Superman was subpar!
Oh, that's generous for Batman vs. Superman.
I'm trying to be nice.
I'm not going to do that again. Every time someone brings up that fucking movie, I hear that voice in the back of my head going, oh, you need to fucking say the thing you need to say. No, I don't. I don't want to do this again. No. I'm tired of visiting this well. Alright? And people keep fucking bringing it up. Because I keep bringing up DC. But that's so it's mostly my own fault.
Oh, God. And, you know, on top of all of that, I felt like it had some serious pacing issues.
There were. This movie did not need to be 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, I mean, as fun as it was to watch everyone...
I'm sorry. Before you get into that...
All of the Minion people just die out constantly, I was like, there was no need for this.
I'm sorry. I forgot to mention the dumb line, which is when Watts turns down his offers by saying, and I quote, a fanboy knows a hater.
Oh my fucking God, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that line, didn't you?
Yeah.
I fucking didn't. That was on like, oh my God. I mean, I read about that line beforehand, so I know it was coming, watching it in context, and not even tongue-in-cheek. They expect you to take that seriously.
Like, that's like a seriously good line.
Yeah, and I was like...
I don't know, man. All they needed to do was for this movie was just put on the thick rimmed glasses and the pocket protector, and you're supposed to have your Prima guide to Final Fantasy VII on you at all times, and then they would think that's an appropriate approximation of the audience, the intended audience.
And there was no rampant sexism. This is not my video game community. Girls play games too. Anyway.
That 11-year-old did not call anyone in this movie a faggot.
Great, now I gotta edit that word out. Thanks. Now I gotta track down this exact part so I can censor that. Thank you.
I mean, you could just stop the recording and then start a new bumper.
That's whatever, I've said worse.
But what? That's not a real thing? Xbox kids?
I mean, it is, but it's... anyway. We'll let it go.
I'm just pointing out the reality of the Xbox community.
I know. Well, and he says the man who plays League of Legends.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Them too. I'm just saying that I don't know if you're 12.
Point.
There's voice chat in Xbox.
Yeah, so long story short, they basically just go through several trials. One leads to The Shining, which I thought was a cool visual effect. Because
I like the Shining references. I also just felt bad for the little girl that had to see
there's
the scariest parts of the movie.
There was a little girl like 2 seats over from us who were just like, who apparently has never seen The Shining. Can't imagine why.
Because she was like maybe 5.
I can imagine showing my 5-year-old The Shining.
Yeah, no, this is not the way to introduce your child to The Shining.
I know.
After a while, she was just like, "Daddy, is this a horror movie?"
I want my 6-year-old like son or daughter running around the house going, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!"
Yeah, but it's still not The Shining.
I know, but I'm saying like actually like all the '80s R-rated movies.
Yeah. Don't have kids.
My kids are gonna be awesome. All right, like you can only see this around me. All right, you don't say around anyone else. You can only say around me. Fucking hell, Dad, really? Yes, only me.
They all have that voice too.
But I digress. So the rest of it's just bad guy, good guy versus bad guy. Shenanigans happen.
Oh, and that one like minion guy in the game, like what, like he was like the epitome of how people see nerd culture.
You mean the one that was played by what's his name?
I don't know. The guy was like, "Oh yeah, I got this thing with my carpal tunnel in the neck."
The guy from Deadpool and Big Hero 6 and Cloverfield.
Really?
Yeah, what's his name?
I don't know.
I know because
who was he in Big Hero 6?
He's the
oh, the jumpy lizard underwear guy.
Yeah, that guy.
That was really gross about laundry.
Yeah, that guy. It's gonna bug me now because I'm not a big fan of that actor.
Well, I didn't like what he did in this game because he was just, I don't know.
Yeah, he
not
was
even
that guy.
not even perpetuating a correct stereotype.
And overall, it didn't really amount to much because it doesn't actually end up fighting anyone in the movie.
No, yeah, he does.
Who does he fight?
The high five. Oh, that was the name of their fucking clan.
No, it's not a clan because they don't clan up. Remember?
No, they clanned up at the end for contractual purposes.
Yeah, that was their fucking. That was their fucking like character arc.
All we learned together by playing Halliday's game that the only way that we can succeed is together, and this is the part where we hold hands.
Yay! You can feel my excitement.
Also, they're also gonna get some like 1/5 of $500 billion, which is why not just say 500 billion?
T.J. Miller. That's who it was.
Oh, okay.
Who else in the movie?
No. I don't care that much.
I mean, that's Simon Pegg, obviously, but
yes, Simon Pegg.
My thought was like, okay, so the movie kind of ends. Like, I'm not giving away too much. You kind of know where this movie's going. They find the Easter egg. They decide to split it amongst the 4 of them. One of them was an 11-year-old boy. So I'm like, you're giving quarter shares of a major corporation to an 11-year-old.
Yeah, so that way when all of the other major shareholders die of old age, he'll be the curator for the next kid to do this ridiculous quest.
Whatever. At that point, I was just waiting for the movie to be fucking over. Like, there was a point I looked at my watch like, fuck, we're only an hour into this.
And the best part is the final fight was like, this is kind of like when they would do like the people doing the final fight in the real world. It's just like, wait, this is kind of like what Pokemon Go used to look like.
Wait, Pokemon Go?
Yeah, they're like the swarms of people just running in a certain direction, and you're just like, yeah, that's what Pokemon Go used to be.
Yeah, I can see that. But like the one part I did like genuinely like, God, despite myself, I'm really enjoying this scene, was a part where there was this big like gigantic war scene because T.J. Miller bought turns on a magical shield that basically deflects everything. And
they got the mech warrior.
And that's another Spielbergism. A big dramatic speech towards the end. Either to sum up the moral of the story or to rouse everyone together.
You mean all 5 of those speeches?
Yeah, and to be fair, the Post managed to resist the urge to do that until the very end. This one indulges in it quite a bit. The main character does this big dramatic speech, and there's a big gigantic army. It kind of comes in to try to take down the giant castle, which is all right, that's kind of cool.
And honestly, if those people were competitive about the game, wouldn't they not want to help him? Or did they not want to help the corporate douchebag
I think
more?
the whole thing was to stop the corporate douchebag.
Really? Because in our current politics, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Well, it's 40 years down the line. Dude, we get pissy about microtransactions.
Oh, you mean what that guy was trying to do?
Yeah, exactly. So
we can fill up 80% of a user's vision without giving them a fucking seizure.
It's subtle, Spielberg, very subtle.
What was the moral lesson that you got from this movie, Mike?
I don't know. I mean, it was really subtle. I think.
Was it something like get off your phone? Was it blaringly loud, get off your phone?
What?
Get off your phone! Get off your phone!
Dude, I'm trying to hold my phone.
That's the entire movie. Get off your phone! Get off! It's like if you can imagine Steven Spielberg in one of the lifeguard chairs, and he's got the lifeguard suntan on his nose, and he's just screaming it into the get off your phone! Get off your phone!
But look, there's a cute doggy.
Get off your phone!
Oh, but Grant put up something. I have to read this now. Hold on. Pause the review for a second. I'm kidding.
Yes, because the young people have always listened to a badgering old man about telling them what to do.
What?
Yep, I'm the old man in this scenario.
You left some wide open for that one, man.
Right into that. I'm only helping you with this review.
Yeah. You kids today with your phones and your hipping and your hopping and
you don't stop it dropping in the.
Let's not go with Bill Cosby territory. Starting to get too much cause. But no, the one scene that was a full guilty pleasure is while this is happening, they do eventually get through the shield, and the big bad corporation man decides to bring out his secret weapon, which is old school Mechagodzilla. Which on one hand is oh my god, it's fucking Mechagodzilla, and right after I was God damn it, I'm gonna enjoy this despite myself. And I'm and the first part, the sad part is the first thing that happened to Pepsi. I was that's not what he looked like. That was the first thing I noticed, the first thing that pissed me off.
See, the thing that really upset me was they go out of this way because
they did get the finger missiles. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was in the original Godzilla movies. I know that much. Sorry, continue.
The thing that I thought was really upsetting was when they go out of their way to get the Iron Giant to fight Mechagodzilla, and it's so awesome.
Yeah.
But then he has to sacrifice himself to make the bridge across the lava. And
you and I had the exact same reaction. We're no, not again. I can't do this a second time.
My childhood, no! Vin Diesel! Not Vin Diesel's voice! and then as he died, he's sinking into the lava. He's doing a Terminator thumbs up.
This woman just totally glared at us. At us loudly yelling, Vin Diesel.
Not Vin Diesel! We're gonna get arrested now.
Won't be the first time we got the cops that tapped on our door when they're doing one of these.
Anyway,
so after all that, but as if the find the Iron Giant wasn't cool enough, then they got the guy who's I choose form of Gundam, and then he turns into fucking a Gundam bot, and then he fights Mechagodzilla.
It's not even a Gundam bot. It's the Gundam, the original Gundam.
And then he fights Mechagodzilla. It's fuck! I'm enjoying myself.
That was basically everything I wanted out of the Gundam scene, except the fact that he timed out and didn't beat the Mecha Godzilla.
Well, that's okay, but then the Iron Giant came back. And he did more things. So, like, that was, like, the one genuinely, like, all right, I'm down for this.
Yeah, I was perfectly okay with that. And then I guess I wanted the movie to just sort of end sooner. Like,
yeah.
Like, maybe just shoot the one guy in the ghetto with a gun.
Oh, yeah, and that's the whole thing. While all this is happening at this point...
it's a chase scene.
The corporation guys to find out where all the little rebel people are, and they're trying to actively murder them. So they run away in a van. And, again, Watt's guide says, like, if you're watching this all in so-and-so location, I need your help. And they are no help whatsoever. They're about as helpful as the the train people in Spider-Man 2.
Oh, yeah, not helpful at all.
Because what ends up happening is, after they defeat Mechagodzilla with big bad Rogue One boss inside, he decides to go to them directly and try to basically just go and shoot them. So a car chase scene happens, and the car crashes in Watt's neighborhood, and all the people come out to stop Rogue One guys coming out to kill him, and he just pulls out a gun. And keep in mind, there are hundreds of people around this guy.
Also, this is not threatening to anybody. This is threatening to somebody.
He's not even aiming at anybody. He's just holding his gun up like this, and Marilyn's like, "Oh, okay, well, it's clear a path for you." He's like, "You are surrounding him."
Do you know? Yeah, and then my thing is, like, the first person that he takes his eyes off, which would be the person directly behind him, all they had to do with, like, this move is just do, shoot, my plan has been foiled.
Or just, like, grab a heavy metal, I'll just go, bonk, man down, no gun.
They're in the Ohio Columbus ghetto. I expect it to happen.
And how is he the only one with a gun, if that's the case?
Okay, well, by then, maybe sensible gun laws have passed.
We can hope.
It's not gonna happen.
It might. I don't know. I remain optimistic.
Anywho.
That's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother topic.
Watch, we get, like, this is the one video, like, the NRA
like,
nuts find.
50 downvotes!
There's no such thing as bad publicity, so I'm just gonna say, fuck you, NRA.
I agree.
Yeah. So, I look forward to seeing you in the comments.
Do we have anything else to talk about the movie?
I mean, that's more or less the story.
He hangs out with Charlie in the chocolate factory at the end of Charlie in the chocolate factory, and then makes the moral decision that was correct all along. Because that was obvious, because when you're choosing between $500 billion in a major corporation's share and doing the right thing, you should just do the right thing.
Like, this is one of those cases where, like, if you like this movie, I can see why. Like, for something, it can kind of like the movie we talked about. Like, it could just be just escapism, which is fine. It just suffers in so many other ways. Like, if you like the visual design and you like just seeing the colors and the the action sequences and the pop culture references, fine. I get it. Have fun. It does not have as much depth as it thinks it does. And it thinks it's deep. It thinks it's being deep. And it thinks it's saying something. Like, this would have been perfectly fun, perfectly serviceable if it was just a lot more tongue-in-cheek. But it takes itself so goddamn seriously with characters that don't deserve it. And a sense of self-importance that is not earned. That it just becomes really hard to watch. And that's more or less my overall thoughts on it.
Yeah, moving on.
I mean, do you have anything else to add to that?
I don't care for this movie. If you care for this movie, fight me online. I don't care, man.
I mean, get those words.
I'm the guy that doesn't like the first Pacific Rim, so come at me, whatever.
You probably wouldn't have liked the sequel either.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
I'm just really glad that you respected that I didn't want to watch the second one.
I mean, I'm cruel, but I'm not that cruel.
I'm the guy that you took to, what was that shitty movie we saw?
Oh, that doesn't narrow it down.
It was very recent.
Sherlock Gnomes?
Yeah. I'm the guy that you took to Sherlock Gnomes, but you will not take me to any other movie involving Pacific Rim.
Well, to be fair, you know exactly what you're getting into with Sherlock Gnomes, but like, if you were like, someone saying like, neither one of us going to come out saying like, well, I liked it, like we would with Pacific Rim. So that was the case. Like, all right, if it's just not his thing, it's not his thing. So
yeah. Let's just do trailers.
All right, so we got first one we got was Adrift.
Oh,
which one was that one? Oh, that was the YA movie.
It's the true story about taking a boat into a hurricane and then thinking everything's going to be okay. Because it's a true story, it probably is.
So I can only assume this is a sequel to A Fault in Our Stars.
I don't know, man.
Oh
shit, my phone!
Do you remember what Fault in Our Stars was, right?
No.
Same actress played Cancer Girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
As long as it's not as manipulative as the high school volleyball movie.
That's coming out soon, I think.
I've already seen the plot to the movie. There's no point to watching that either.
Then we got the Infinity War trailer. This is the newer one. The newest one. It's like, you know what? I'm excited.
I mean...
It's so ambitious, and I'm thinking, oh, please pull it off. A miracle happened. Please pull it off.
My biggest problem with the second one is that they kept introducing new things and the story wasn't focused. So I'm hoping that they just focus on the story that they advertise.
From what I've heard and what I understand about it, actually Thanos is the main character, which actually sounds like the right call to make.
Okay.
And like all the superheroes are like just like supporting his journey to find the Infinity Stones.
Okay.
Which, if you do it that way, it's like, yeah, you can actually make that work. So from that perspective, it's like, all right, there seems to be a focus.
I just want them to have a focus, because that was the biggest problem with Avengers 2, was that
like, honestly,
we got to do Ultron, and then we got to do like little snippets of the Infinity War that we're totally gonna do.
I mean, honestly, like the problem with, well, I mean, yeah, the Thor plotline in Avengers 2 was the weakest part of the movie, but I don't think everyone kind of unanimously agrees on that.
Yeah.
The biggest part of Avengers 2 is, like, honestly, Avengers 2 has pretty much the same problem the first Avengers movie did, except it came out second. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, if Avengers 2 came out first, people would have praised the shit out of it. But because it was a sequel, it was like, it wasn't as mind-blowing as the first one was, because we hadn't seen that kind of movie before. Then again, the first one does have overall just better pacing, so like it's still, but that's really, when you compare them together, they have a lot of the same problems.
So yeah, I can totally see that this, because there's just so many characters that introduce in Infinity War, I'm cautiously optimistic that their focus isn't going to be there, and I also think there's just too many characters to involve. So
it's
there
like,
may or may not be a pacing issue.
It's more like, I don't think every character, I mean, obviously that many characters, you can't everyone have like their own exclusive storyline.
Right.
So it looks like they're kind of doing pretty much what I expected, and they're just grouping them up into smaller and like different storyline based groups, which makes sense.
Well, because the most sense is, oh shoot, what was her name in Guardians?
Gamora.
Gamora needs a story.
Well, you know Gamora's gonna be a big part of it.
Yeah, because the Thanos daughter thing. Yeah. So Gamora and Nebula need to be more into it. So obviously, you know, they get to have a story. Iron Man's gonna have a story because he's the leader of Avengers.
Well, I mean, like, from what I understand, it's basically being like the Guardians with Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man in one group.
Yeah.
You have Black Panther, Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, Falcon, and I guess they come the White Wolf now, instead of the Winter Soldier. In another group.
Yeah.
They're in Wakanda.
Yeah.
And so then you have Thor, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot in space. Presumably making a new weapon for Thor.
Yeah, probably.
And like those are the three main. I don't know where Hawkeye and Ant-Man are, but
I don't know.
From what I heard, Ant-Man gets like the least screen time, but like I think the rule that they're going to like, all right, whoever gets the least screen time in this movie will get more screen time in the next one.
or that's why they're working. Or they are probably still doing Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't know.
Well, they are. Well, yeah, obviously, but
I mean, like they gotta like.
No, I mean like Infinity War is filmed. It's done.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, like they confirm they're in there. They're smaller roles.
I mean, I honestly can't see the value of. Oh no, he can go big now. Never mind. Yeah. No, Ant-Man should totally fight Thanos.
I don't know if Civil War. I mean, like, and there's another thing about Infinity War. the directing team gives me a lot of hope.
And Squirrel Girl. If Squirrel Girl shows up, well, like
I would love that, but
I
it's
will
not going to
flip
happen.
my shit.
I would love that to happen. It's not going to happen.
If she at least shows up in Deadpool.
I think I think she's joined like a TV show now.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's actually played by the girl who did like some of the cell phone commercials.
Oh, really? All right, moving on.
But no, I was like, last point I was gonna make is like it's the Russo brothers directing it, and they directed Captain America 2 and 3, which are arguably some of the best, or at least the most dramatic Marvel movies out there, that really pulled off the beats they need to pull off. So, and they balanced out all the Avengers up to that point in one movie too.
Okay.
So I think they know what they're doing. Yeah, but now moving on. Then we got Mission Impossible 6.
Sure.
Oh, that looks fun.
No, I mean, it'll probably be fun, but it's just like I've seen the trailer to death already.
Fair enough. This is a story we haven't gotten before, though. The house with the clock on the wall.
Oh, I thought it was Mary Poppins at first, and then I was like,
No,
wait,
Jack Black is
Jack
Mary
Black
Poppins.
isn't. Yeah, Disney would never work with Jack Black again.
What did they work on him last time?
I don't know.
Was it School of Rock? Was that Disney?
I thought that was not Disney.
I don't think so either. But that's the only.
Hang on, let me get on my phone while Steven Spielberg is telling me not to.
What?
Check. What was it? School of Rock was. What? No, I don't want to go to. Okay, whatever.
I wasn't Shark. Oh, Disney Rolls. Here we go. He was himself in the Muppets, and he was one of the hitchhiking ghosts.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the only part. So really, he hasn't done anything to piss off the mouse quite yet.
Or gain his respect.
I don't know. He was pretty good in Goosebumps, to be fair.
I could see like one day, like Jack Black finally gets like a role from Disney, and he has to like go up to like a guy who's like who thinks he's like the embodiment of Mickey Mouse, and he's like, kiss the ring.
But that movie looked interesting. That House of the Clock on the Wall. I was like,
Yeah,
right.
I was intrigued with the world of the house.
Yeah.
It felt like a child's like
fantasy horror.
like Pan's Labyrinth for kids.
Yeah, I could see that. Like if like Hugo met with Pan's Labyrinth, I could see that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like both those movies, so if they ain't saying like that, I'll be down. Then we got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Just make the Spider-Gwen movie already.
Yeah, like that's the one. Like
Also, if they don't have Spider-Gwen in this movie, I'm gonna be pissed.
honestly, that's what concerns me though, because I don't think she should be. Like here's the thing. I had this thought recently. I was thinking about this movie. It's like, you know what? If Sony decided to make a series of animated vignettes, like about different universe Spider-Man, that would be brilliant. That'd be a great marketing move. Would not violate their deal, the MCU, and in a way they can branch out and do their own thing. But I'm worried they're gonna cram everything into what should be Miles Morales' story. And I feel like if they do that, they're gonna fuck it up. Because what's the problem with every Spider-Man movie that has been negatively received? What's the common complaint about Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man, and Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Too emo.
No, not too emo. But too many.
Oh, villain. Too many characters?
Yes, too many characters. All right. Good, you passed the quiz.
I'm sorry, man. I've been up since 5.
That's fine. Like, too many characters. And they start doing the whole Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse thing. It's just going to go way too crammed, and you're going to lose the focus, and it's going to fucking suck.
And then this spider salesman.
Oh, God.
Buy our merchandise!
I mean, again, but if they made, like, this one its own thing, made Spider-Gwen its own thing, hell, you can make a fucking Spider-Ham movie if you wanted.
Yeah, okay.
Which I would absolutely see.
Or it'd be like a 10-minute short before the actual movie
Or
starts.
Spider-Man Noir would be awesome.
Yeah, okay, that'd be pretty cool.
You can do a lot of things with that, but you try to cram all into one thing, it's gonna implode.
Well, that's why it says Enter the Spider-Verse.
Well, you don't need to set that up. Just make different movies in each different universe, though.
No, because that's the MCU's biggest fault, is that they like to cram too much into a project.
But most of them, outside like the Avengers movies and maybe like Captain America 3, could still stand on their own as their own separate movie.
I guess, yeah.
That's the thing. That's the trick. That's the clever thing about Marvel. Is like it helps you see them all, but you don't need to. I mean, granted, as movies have gone on, they become more a necessity, especially as you try leading into the Avengers stuff. But you don't need to see all of them to understand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they quickly glaze over things like Black Panther.
Yeah, like you can watch Black Panther if you don't know watch the rest of it. You can watch Ant-Man if you don't know the rest of the Marvel Universe. Even if you don't know Marvel Universe and they reference it, you don't need to like, oh, I know who that is from that movie. You can just totally get the context based on the conversation.
There's no guy on the screen. It's like, you should know this!
Yeah. You know what I think it's really to fall with that is maybe Spider-Man Homecoming. And even then, a lot of it's explained in the first intro of the movie. And Captain America 3.
Yeah. Alright, what's next?
Deadpool 2.
What's there to say?
I'm excited.
It's probably going to be cool.
Yeah?
Especially since they brought back the one mutant girl, and I can't remember her name.
Teenage Atomic Warhead or something like that.
Yeah.
Subatomic Teenage Warhead. That's
Yeah. The most obscure of X-Men.
And not even close. I don't think she's even X-Men. I think she's a member of the Hellfire Club.
That obscure.
Yeah. Or at least she wasn't Astonishing X-Men. I'm a nerd.
That's fine. I mean, it does feel like with just a trailer, it feels like he's being more Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds allowed to do more of what he likes to do in a studio that's actually like, oh, okay, this works. Okay, we can let you do whatever you want
This
now.
works 100% for the character you're 100% portraying. Go for it.
And apparently, like, the test audience reaction to this movie has been better than the first one, so that's kind of... Granted, I take test screens with a grain of salt, but, you know, still optimistic sign.
I mean, it's going to be really hard to top Francis. And now
actually, Francis is like the most boring character in that movie when you really look back at it.
No, but I love how the provocation of Ajax. And now, when I go to Target and I pass by the dish soap and I see Ajax, I'm like, I just want to like take a Sharpie and go Francis.
That'd be funny if you did that. Funny if somebody pushed on Tumblr or something. I was like, dude. And is Cable the bad guy in this movie?
I feel like maybe the antagonist, because it feels like Cable has to stop something terrible from happening in the future, so he has to do. So he has a reason to be antagonistic, because you know, like at least with the first Deadpool, it was very clear. Like Francis, he's got a lame name, but he's also the antagonist. I think it would actually be pretty brave if because you can be antagonistic, right, without being like evil. Like he's clearly has good intentions, Cable.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it's that kind of antagonist where you clearly understand his motivations, but it's sort of a dick move to kill a kid.
Yeah. I mean, Bishop's also in this movie, so maybe he's the bad guy. I don't know. Played by Terry Crews, which I love that casting.
Ooh, that's gonna be good. Anyway, Terry Crews is awesome.
Oh yeah, and I have a lot of respect for Terry Crews, especially after the whole like controversy he's been surrounded with lately.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, he's basically come out on his own allegations of sexual assault by producers and shit.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, you can read all about it.
All right.
I think a lot of studios because of it.
Wow. Okay.
So we got Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald. Whatever.
I mean,
I like the first one. Okay.
I didn't see Fantastic Beasts, but I thought Dumbledore was supposed to kill Grindelwald so that he could have control of the Elder Wand. He said as nerdily as possible.
That can still happen. There's still getting another one of these fucking movies. So.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
It's supposed to be. They really want to make a Harry Potter movie series. So they're cashing on this. And Jude Law's Dumbledore. I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
J.K. Rowling's just running out of coke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Next thing you know,
she's a responsible mother.
Oh, just wait until the Cursed Child comes out.
Oh God, you're seriously doing that?
It may have been an April Fool's joke, but I did see something about that recently. Probably an April Fool's joke. Google it later.
I don't know. Okay. Whatever.
And then Rampage, we talked about a million times.
Yo, I got to see more of the Gator this time. I'm pretty hype. I played the Gator.
Was it? I always thought it was a lizard.
some
Reptile.
some sort of reptile.
Yeah.
But I mean,
who gives a shit? It's a flying wolf and a giant monkey. What the fuck do you want? And just a shot ripped straight out of Khan Skull Island.
gorilla.
Oh, sorry.
Ape.
Yeah, like especially that closing shot in the trailer is like, you know what? I know you stole that from Khan Skull Island, but whatever. I'm cool.
All right, so yeah, Ready Player One. How do you feel?
Like I'm gonna forget about it tomorrow.
Honestly, as far as Ready Player One is concerned, you guys,
And where was Doomfist? We got Tracer. Where's Doomfist?
they really had to use that. I was just
Diva.
okay. That's actually disappointing because as far as as far as the actual nerd community feels,
Diva's up there.
Diva is waifu, Shapeser is waifu. That's not the last words I want to say for this.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, so I was not impressed, and I'll probably move on.
Yeah.
Unless I have to watch it again.
So we got a busy week this week. We still gotta see the Tyler Perry movie.
Yo, man, I will do something nice for you for Isle of Dogs. If you make me not watch that movie.
Well, the nice thing you could do is go see that movie with me. Then we see Isle of Dogs on Wednesday.